Hi, we're going to be summarizing today the first two episodes of a drama called Tokyo Avengers. While lying around and eating snacks, Takemichi hears on the news that conflict in Tokyo Manji gang led to civilian casualties, including Naoto Tachibana and Hinata Tachibana. That surprises Takemichi as that was his only girlfriend in middle school. A neighbor knocks on his door, complaining that his TV is too loud, and Takemichi apologizes. At work, his manager also complains that she told him numerous times he needs to put the returned DVD back to shelves, and Takemichi again apologizes. Walking home, he sees some kids that decide to mess with him and scratch a car and then run, leaving Takemichi to take the blame. Standing on the train station, Takemichi complains how bad his life turned, having to apologize for everything and still being a virgin. As the train comes, someone pushes him on the tracks, and moments before he gets hit, he remembers Hinata. Takemichi recalls his time in the second year of middle school, where he had the best life and even a girlfriend. He awakens in the train and sees his old school friends Makoto, Yamagishi, Akun, and Takuya calling him to leave the train. He sees himself in a mirror and realizes he has his lane look during the middle school. Checking his phone, he sees it's July 4th, 2005, which is exactly 12 years ago. He goes to a restaurant with his friends where they eat burgers, but Takemichi only orders fries as he needs money for the train. They comment they are happy that Takemichi's cousin, Masaru, is the leader of Shibuya 3rd Middle School, and if some third years try to mess with them, they will just drop his name. Takemichi wonders what they mean, and Makoto explains they are going to fight with the second years of Shibuya 3rd Middle School as they have issues with them. On their way, Takemichi starts to recall they indeed went and fought with the second years, but gets scared as he hasn't fought in 10 years. They reach Shibuya, but everyone they talk with is either a first or third year and start to wonder if the second years are just avoiding them. Takemichi starts to recall the actual events that occurred, and in that moment, some third years led by Masataka Kiyomizu appear. Masataka comments he heard they are looking for their second years, but all the second years are on a school trip. Yamagishi states they talked with their boss Masaru, which causes one of the third years to laugh and call Masaru. He then orders him to go and buy them drinks from his own money. As Masaru goes, Takemichi recalls that Masaru was actually their errand boy and had lied that he was the leader as he was trying to show off in front of him. Takemichi and the rest then get beaten up and informed it will be now soldiers in the Tokyo Manji gang. Takemichi recalls that how their hellish days started and the reason he left the town after graduation. Takemichi recalls Hinata, and while they are walking home, he leaves his friends and goes to her place as he had even forgotten how she looks. Seeing him beaten, Hinata realizes he had fought again and tells him to stop fighting for stupid things. Seeing her, Takemichi starts to cry and attempts to leave, telling her that he only wanted to see her. Hinata realizes he is hiding something as he isn't his usual self. After a short talk, he leaves crying and sits on some swings. He hears some guys harassing a younger kid and gets angry. He goes and punches one, then takes and breaks a bottle, telling them he is in a shitty mood and if they don't leave, he will kill them, and the guys leave while apologizing. The kid thanks him, and Takemichi gives him an advice to be more confident and not back down, which will scare off the half-assed punks. The boy says his name is Naoto Takibana, making Takemichi realize he is Hinata's younger brother. Knowing that he will also die in 12 years, Takemichi asks him if he loves his sister. Naoto blushes, but states he doesn't as she bosses him around. Takemichi then tells him to take care of his sister and that he loves her. Takemichi reveals that on the same day in 2017, he fell into the train tracks and ended up 12 years in the past. He reveals that on July 1st, 2017, Hinata and Naoto will die, so he must remember that date and protect his sister. Takemichi then shakes Naoto's hand. Takemichi wakes up in the infirmary at the station and sees it's July 4th, 2017. He guesses this was just a dream, but then wonders how he survived the train incident without a scratch. The one who saved his life shows up and wishes to speak with Takemichi. The man reveals he is Naoto and Takemichi had changed his fate and that Takemichi had time travel. With the information he told him in the past, Naoto was able to save him. Naoto reveals he studied really hard and became a police officer. However, he still wasn't able to protect Hinata, who still died. Naoto then asks Takemichi to help him save his sister. Takemichi Hanagaki agrees to help save Hinata Tachibana. Naoto Tachibana explains that his power is time travel and he is able to jump on the exact same day, but 12 years ago. Takemichi spends 2 days without sleep in Naoto's room, where Naoto gives him all the information he had obtained about Tokyo Manji gang and wants him to remember it. Naoto reveals that some of the information he is giving him is not known to the media, as his predecessor managed to obtain it while investigating undercover, but after he was discovered, he was killed. They found a video recording of his death in his eye socket. As Takemichi can't go back on any date he wants, Naoto tells him that when he gets back 12 years ago, he needs to meet the Tokyo Manji Gang top 2 members, Manjiro Sano and Tada Kisaki. Naoto states that if those two never met, the current Tokyo Manji Gang would never exist and his sister wouldn't have to die. Takemichi wonders how he will go, and Naoto mentions that Takemichi told him he went back in present after handshaking Naoto, and he believes that's the trigger. Naoto informs Takemichi that Manjiro and Tada met in August, and he must stay close to one of them and prevent them from meeting. They shake hands, and Takemichi time travels 12 years ago. Takemichi opens his eyes and sees he is in a fight where people had bet on who would win. Takemichi is shocked of where he is and checks his phone to confirm he returned back in time. As he does, his opponent punches and knocks him out. Later, Takemichi wakes up and Masataka Kiyomizu's gang is annoyed that he went down only after one punch, as they are running a fight club and they may decide to stop coming and betting if there are such fights. Masataka tells his men to teach Takemichi a lesson and they start beating him up. Takemichi recalls the fight club and that he was Masataka's slave, which was eventually the reason he ran away, leaving his friends and Hinata behind. As Masataka and his men were leaving, Takemichi wonders if they are from Tokyo Manji Gang and that he would like to meet Manjiro or Tada. Masataka gets angry, takes his bat, and starts beating Takemichi. Seeing that, his men decide to stop him. Masataka warns Takemichi that if he mentions Manjiro's name again, he will kill him, which scares Takemichi, and he finds it would be impossible to meet anyone. Scared, Takemichi decides to go to Naoto and shake his hand. He forgets that Hinata also lives there and meets her, who is worried that he is beaten up again. Hinata states that if she was a boy, she would have fought and protected Takemichi. Takemichi then states he will protect Hina too, but then realizes he called her Hina. Hinata blushes, but is happy that he called her that way. The next day, Takemichi's friends gather in the bathrooms. The Fight Club fights are starting to become a daily thing. Atsushi Sendo reveals that Takuya Yamamoto will be fighting today. Takemichi recalls that Takuya is quite fragile and he almost died in the fight. The group disagree, but they can't oppose Masataka. Seeing his friends, Takemichi realizes how much they care for each other, and he realizes how cool they were. The fight is about to start. Kojima from Sakura Middle School faces Takuya from Mizo Middle School, with odds 6-4 in Kojima's favor. Masataka gives a signal to start, but Takemichi interrupts the fight. He goes to Masataka and asks him to fight him. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel with the bell, so as not to miss new videos. And AniCash was with you. See you soon.